Most of the state guides were divided into 3 sections. First, perplexed readers paged through essays on history, industry, folkways, and other subjects. Then came profiles of notable cities and towns, and finally a collection of automobile tours across the state. The tours highlighted scenic overlooks and recreation spots, but they were also dense with Indian massacres, labor strikes, witches, gunfighters, Continental Army spies, Confederate deserters, shipwrecks, slave rebellions, famous swindlers, and forgotten poets. They traveled through towns with bizarre names, and towns founded by religious cults. They pointed out architectural curiosities, dubious monuments, and decayed trading posts. They paused for every old-timer's story that could be fastened to a patch of ground. They knew of ghosts on every road. They mentioned all the places where Washington ever slept and where Lincoln was ever born. They guided tourists across the land, but also deep into the national character, into a past that was assembled from the mythic and the prosaic, the factual and the farcical. The tours seemed less accessories for motorists than rambling day trips through the unsorted mind of the Republic. This shaggy opulence, this Americana maximalism, made the guides unusual, but their provenance made them remarkable. They weren't issued by some erratic publisher or obsessive-compulsive tourist association. They were, in fact, created by the federal government. They were researched, written, and edited by members of the Federal Writers Project, a division of the Works Progress Administration. The WPA was a cornerstone of the New Deal, one of several agencies tasked with delivering jobs to the jobless. The American Guides were among the unlikeliest weapons in the improvised arsenal that the Roosevelt administration brought to bear upon the Depression. Launched with the WPA in 1935, the FWP provided work for unemployed writers, whether professional or aspiring, competent or otherwise. It wasn't a huge program, comparatively. The entire WPA employed more than 2 million people a month, on average, while the FWP averaged 4,500 to 5,200 people and peaked at 6,686. FWP workers were scattered in offices around the country, in each state's largest city and in satellite offices, and in the project's headquarters in Washington. Some of them worked mostly at home or in the field. Many federal writers were teachers, beat reporters, clerks, lawyers, librarians, people laid off from advertising firms or real estate agencies, members of the clergy, white-collar workers whose jobs had disappeared and who were better suited to desk labor than, say, draining malarial swampland. They worked alongside poets and novelists, including some significant writers whose fame had been eclipsed by the Depression, and others who had yet to become famous. A handful of illustrious figures from the world of American letters collected an FWP paycheck at one time or another. I'll skip the potted roster. We'll meet them. The FWP operated in tandem with the other WPA arts projects, for theater, visual art, and music. All were part of the same policy strategy that, through the Civilian Conservation Corps, sent young men to clear forest trails, or, through the Public Works Administration, paid workers to build the Lincoln Tunnel. The FWP was a work relief program, and its primary mission was to keep writers from starving to death or killing themselves, while putting cash into circulation and contributing, however modestly, to the economic